guys, welcome to the podcast of Group 2,
Volume 2
of class 10.9.
And so in this chapter we're gonna look at how humans overuse of different species causes them to be at risk for going extinct.
Hey, what are you doing, Kim?
I'm searching for the overexploitation. Do you know what it means?
No, I don't know.
It's the overuse of special by humans to the point where it threatens their ability to survive. Especially when we're taking out that genetic biodiversity and we're decreasing population size to the point where they're improving. Do you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
And about a third of vertebrate species at risk right now of overexploitation, like Atlantic cod, and you can see their population decreased dramatically from overfishing. And here's an infographic ways that we use to overexploit, like overhunt. A really sad example of that is rhinos. Rhinos are hunted because their horns are worth thousands of dollars on the black market cause their supposed medical purposes in China for them. However, their horns are just keratin, which is like your fingernails, the hard keratin, and that protein had no different structure in them than fingernail clippings, so they're dying for no reasons. But people are desperate to feed their family, and they know that they can make money by doing that. Unsustainable logging, so the rate that we're taking out rainforest is much higher than it can naturally re-establish itself. Overfishing, the same idea. We're like a big predator fish who help keep all the numbers in check. We've taken out 90% of those, like tuna for example. And then unregulated pet trade is huge. People want the exotic pets from different areas like birds, turtles, and they're taken out at higher rates than their population can sustain.
So now we are going to look at different types of exploitation. First is commercial, so this is that where doing it to make money. Here is a person from the worldwide fund watching the industry to make sure they do it in a sustainable manner. The different injustice from this is over 50 violent and ruling. It's far greater than that if you look at different agriculture as well. And unfortunately, we pay more money for things that are rare. So if a species is being overexploited to the point where there are very few, there is a return incentive to hit them and take them out of the wild because they want extra money.
And then we are gonna look at this idea of tragedy of the common. So tragedy of the common is classically the idea that if everybody will only took one tree, rate is a sustaining population of trees of the forest. Now, if one person took 2 trees, it's not a big deal. We are still fine. But everybody took 1 tree, took 2 trees, you wouldn't have any fortress left. And so it's that idea that if everybody you can do bad, you both don't check yourself, you that very well.
And as we employ just a method to substitute food, clothing, fuel, shelter, what is limited by human population. If our population is not to play, we can do this. But if it gets big, we can use the resources at a suitable rate. And what I mean by suitable is a ray that it can replenish itself. So what go along with this population role model, especially for humans?
Okay, and next, recreational. So we do that because we enjoy it, hunting, fishing, and yes, there are ways to do this sustainably. But that can be like the Treaty of Commons. Oh, if I take a few more fish than I'm allowed today, that's not a big deal, right? 2 fish. What matters there? Nothing. The population still fine. But if everybody does that, then the population will crash, right? And it's important. But you have to pay your fees and make sure that you are doing it on the right way, so that those funds go into conservation. And the last one here is watching. And you might say, well, what does that matter? You're not actually hurting the individuals. Well, just humans' presence in places can affect how those species functions, right? They might not go get the food that they would normally get. They might be awake and stressed more.
And then in lyric, humans stressful, cerebral, them cannot, exotic species. They wonderful, I have to dog too. If they get to go outside and they weren't watched by me, they would be killing a lot.
Are discussing about the consequences of overexploitation.
Hi, I focus sequences of the exploitation, say individuals in the population are going to be more likely to be susceptible.
If they have interesting genetics, if they are really big, like fish or deer, said like deer, if you got a big book, you are gonna have more brain than if you get the brain.
And then they can have their huge effect on the ecosystem. We are gonna look at castor species. So a castor species is a species that has a big effect on their ecosystem.
And sometimes there's even ecosystem engineers, also like a beaver who engineers his ecosystem by building dams, right? And I hope that all the information that we gave to you will be helpful for you in the future. While students might not have the same resources or power as governments or big organizations, there's still a lot of ways to help reduce overexploitation of animals. A student can start a campaign at their school or university to educate people about overexploitation. Think hunting, poaching, illegal wildlife trade, overfishing, and so on. Or they can use social media to share facts, documentaries, and stories about endangered animals and how humans' actions are impacting them. Furthermore, they can pick some topics related to overexploitation for essays, presentations, or research projects, and share their findings with their class or even their school blogs or their school paper.
Insult overexploitation, especially of animals, had a hard impact on the ecosystem and wildlife habitat. Not only the government, large organizations, but also students must take action and join hands for a healthier and better life for all species.
That is the end of this podcast.
I hope you have